Check out my book, POTUS1, The Presidency, Politics, and Life of George Washington. It is about the life and politics of today through the eyes of George Washington. It looks at many different aspects of it, and I go through many things that I think would be important to know a different perspective today, but stopping right at what we don't know about George Washington. For example, with regards to like hemp or cannabis, we don't really know if George Washington smoked cannabis. There's no evidence of that at all, zero. Some people say that there is, but I have over 64 George Washington biographies, and I have been to Mount Vernon twice, and I've talked to a few George Washington biographers myself, and there's no evidence of that. He did grow hemp for industrial purposes, like for rope and soap and sacks and things like that, but nothing to ingest in a smoke type thing. Another thing I talked about in this book is how important it is that we focus on human trafficking, because it is one of the most, how do you say, under talked about or not talked about things in our culture today. And that, yes, slavery happened in the 1700s, from whatever people, lots of people think all different kinds of things about that, but it did happen in some kind of way. And in today's culture, President Obama said in 2012, I quoted in my book, that essentially human trafficking of today is on the same level of slavery as chattel slavery in the 17th, 18th century, and which is true. And it's funny to me that people are not funny, sorry, that's the wrong word. It's interesting that people do not talk about with such veracity and intense disdain for human trafficking today as they do for slavery in the 17th and 18th century. I think there's an agenda there somewhere, but I think there's a business that people are trying to cover up with human trafficking today. And I talk about that in my book, about how it doesn't matter what people believe with human trafficking today, whether it's the Jeffrey Epstein Island, the John Podesta emails, Pizzagate, or any of the Walmart missing children boards. It's still human trafficking. Whatever it may be, it doesn't matter what you believe. It's still heinous, terrible, grotesque, wrong, whatever vocabulary words you want to use. And we have to put a stop to it, because our children are going missing, millions of them around the world every year. And the governments, some of the governments of the world aren't doing anything about it. They just put a little Band-Aid on it thinking that we'll stop talking about it. But check out my book, POTUS1, The Presidency, Politics, and Life of George Washington. Go to Amazon, type in the title, POTUS, the number 1, and it'll pop up. It's the first thing on there. It's available in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover. And don't forget to check out my Instagram, POTUS.1. Thank you so much.